Hi, how y'all doing? Welcome to the channel. This is Deborah from Spirit Tribe Talks with Deborah, and this is my Wednesday night live that I do. And we were discussing oracle cards, and some of the people in chat had asked me about my oracle cards, and I went over some last week, and I'm going to keep going over some. Not last week, over some Monday, so I wanted to just wait just a few minutes because I was a few seconds early. So I'll see if anybody comes in. If not, I know you guys will get this on the replay, and I hope you're enjoying these little sessions with showing you some of the cards. You guys were asking us before, and we weren't ready. When me and Hershey were reading, you guys were asking me about decks and more. I wasn't ready because I keep my decks handy on this little stand I have right here beside me, and I keep the empty boxes on that shelf behind me that you can see right there, and I didn't want to have to get up and show my butt and dig through them, so I have these that I'm going to get into. My first one I'm going to show this week is the Shaman's Dream. The Shaman's Dream, and this is by Alberto, Villoldo, and Colette Baron-Reid. Isn't this nice little tuck box? Sorry, my hands are a little stiff today. Comes in this nice little box. There's a nice string that you can lay the cards in and then pull them out of. It has a nice little saying here. I love all the Colette Baron-Reid's boxes, except for one. This is the book, The Shaman's Dream Oracle. It's a beautiful book. Nice. Got a lot of information in it. You see, I got a lot of mine highlighted where I went through there. And then I'm going to show you the deck. This is the backs. I'm not crazy about this deck on the backs. I did edge mine in a copper color to match the backs. And I just was going to go through a few of these. Let you see. These are really well, these cards read really well for me. And I was going to discuss how I read my cards and why I choose specific decks. The Shaman's Dream Oracle right here. I use a lot for past life. Ooh, that is bright. It really, it's not my light. That's like the bright angel. It's talking about the cosmic world. I use these a lot for past life. And I use these a lot for spiritual work. Shaman Spiritual. Hi, Deborah. How are you tonight? These are beautiful. This is a beautiful deck. Some of it's a little weird looking. They're beautiful and they give good messages. I use this for spiritual reads. I use this a lot for spiritual reads and for past life reads for people. I use these a lot with myself. Because I do some galactic work. These give really good messages. I'm trying to hold these so that I'm not messing you guys up. It's going to be in front of my face, so I'm not. I know there's a lot of different things going on tonight. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of people in here, but you guys can watch it in the walkthrough. You can watch this in the replays. I definitely love this deck. I know a lot of Colette Baron-Reid's decks. These are nice, thicker cards. A lot of Colette Baron-Reid's decks have a funny coating on them, but these are nice. They're really matte. Beautiful finish on these cards. I love. I work with them real well. I love this crow. I'm a big crow head. I know there's a couple of people in the group that do Shaman kind of work. Healings. This I find is a good deck for my Shaman kind of work that I do. And the cosmic kind of work I do. Like I said, past life readings, spiritual intuitions. I love this card. And I love this deck. And the book is very nice on it. The Watchers. I love the card too. I might read about that one in our book. Okay, we're going to read about the Watchers. Let me pull this up. These cards are very nice because they're all numbered right up here. You have a little saying, Watchers, and it's the transformational. Got the number right there, and then the book is in order. You just go to the number. So it's quickly, there it is. The Watchers. It's serendipity, the observationists, and transpersonal. When Watchers appear, it is an intervention. It is an invitation to stop doing. Pause. Get off the treadmill and take a deep breath. Find the witness within, the one who can observe the fire and fury happening around you. But is not caught in any of the drama. The time is right. Step back. If you have a thought or opinion, keep it to yourself. If you have a feeling that needs to be expressed, do it in the shower. Do not engage with the action happening around you. Simply observe. And then there's more. I just kind of wanted to show you how that deck works. And like I said, it's a very nice deck. It's a very nice quality. These are huge decks, and I have to side shuffle these. I cannot shuffle these when I shuffle, but they do shuffle really nice. I just do the side shuffle with them. Just like that. Okay. The next deck I want to show you guys is this one right here. And this is Sacred Destiny Oracle. This is a Denise Lynn. I have a lot of her decks. I do like Denise Lynn. I'm not crazy about this box. That's a lot of times why I just keep my cards out. I have a hard time getting in some of these boxes, especially if my hands are really hurting. This is the book. Very nice book, very well written. It does show a picture of the cards. It shows you the picture right there, what the card is, and then goes on to tell you that. It's a very informative little book. Nice little book. I'm not going to be reading out of that. These have beautiful backs. These have beautiful backs. And I etched mine in kind of a charcoaly gray, so they mix in with the backs really well. These are beautiful cards. I'm trying to hold it at the bottom so you can see them. These two have a white border, and I thought about chopping the white border off, but then I lose. I like to, what I tell Hershey is free the art up, but then I would lose my keyword. I thought about doing just this, but then I still have the white, so I'm like, I think I just need to leave it alone. I like to mod my deck sometimes. I think it wouldn't make that much of a difference size-wise. It still could be a big card. So, and these shuffle really well. They're nice cardstock, matte. So they're not hard for me to shuffle. A side shuffle. I love this card. Power. These are really beautiful cards. If you're just looking for this deck, I can use anytime for anybody. It just gives good everyday messages. Truth, wisdom. This is a beautiful one with the whale and the fish at the bottom of the ocean. Potentials. Beautiful butterfly. The transformation. With the rose in the background there. This one has a lot of symbology in it. The moon cards are good in here too. These are very nice cards. Love that healing chaos. Purity, simplicity, and success, patience. Now, last week, I didn't have any prices on the cards I was pulling up, but I did look them up and put them in the description box for you guys and put links to where you can find those at. There was only one deck I talked about last week that I could not find a link for because it's out of print, and that was that Terra Nova, the one I found at the The one I found at the flea market kind of place. I found it at the farmer's market near us here. And it is out of print. And I know I've seen that deck somewhere else, but it was called a different name. And if I find that information, I'll put it up for you guys. All the other decks were still available, and they're not bad prices, like $12. I love this action card. Got the ocean and the stormy skies. Abundance. This is just a good all-around deck. You can use this anytime to go with any reads. There's some really nice moon cards in it. The going forward. I love that one. Okay. And again, that there is Sacred Destiny by Denise Lynn. And in the description box, I'll put links to these if I can find them. I don't think any of these are out of print. I'm pretty sure you can still get all of these. And then I'm just going to move on to the next one. This is another Colette Baron-Reid. It's the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck and guidebook. Comes this. Actually, there's a sleeve also that goes over this, which I still have, but I didn't want to put it on here and have to deal with it. This comes in a huge box because it has a very big guidebook. This has a big guidebook, and then the cards come in this little tuck box. It's beautiful work, and it's beautiful. I don't keep the cards in there because I use them. The book is nice. This was by Alberto, Villoldo, and Baron-Reid and Marcella Lobos. Marcella Lobos. I'm not quite sure. But this has the nice pictures and then a good description. It's like tells you the essence of the card, the invitation of the card. And then there's the medicine of the card. So there's 3 different messages for this card, depending on how you want to use the cards. If you want to use them for healing or for healing or for, spiritual work. They're one of my favorite decks. This deck never gets put up. This is the back of them. This is, again, the matte cardstock. Really good cardstock. Beautiful. I have edged mine. Again, I think we all make our Oracle cards our own. This deck is just phenomenal for me. I just love it. And I edged mine in this deep jade green kind of color to pick up the green on the back. They're a big deck. I can't shuffle them. I side shuffle these. These decks here I have to side shuffle, but they shuffle really well. These are beautiful, and I've not hardly ever seen anybody on here. The backs alone, and then I did them with the green. They're a totally beautiful deck, and they weren't really that much. It's called the Mystical Shaman. I did show that, right? The Mystical... Oh, let me get it right. The Mystical Shaman Oracle deck guidebook. And it has a huge guidebook, and it's very informative. And I'll just go through some of these. I love this deck because I have one of my guides is grandfather, I call him. He's An Indian chief, an older Indian chief. These are wonderful, and we work with these very well. I love to work with these for myself and for other people that practice shaman principles or that are doing, Reiki, spiritual kind of work. The crow. I love the crows. These are nice too. They're numbered up here in the books in order. You just go by the number, so it's easy to look up the messages. You don't have to search high and low for everything. This is like one of my favorite decks. This one right here. I love this. I totally love this. It reminds me of the Indian shield. I have an Indian shield tattooed on my back. When I was, when I turned 30, I got the Indian shield on my back and I designed it. So kind of came to me in a dream. And I drew it out and then I took it to the tattoo parlor and asked the gentleman if they let people design their own tattoos, and he said sure, and he did the tattoo and the colors and the way I wanted him to do it. So this deck is phenomenal, and it gives really good reads, and it's not a little wimpy deck. It's a big deck. I feel like this deck covers like Buddhism. It has shaman principles in it. It has a little of everything. So, like, I don't feel like I'm not catching somebody when I'm reading for this. It's very, fluid. It's a fluid deck. You can read anybody with this. I mean, just this card alone. The witness. We're all witness to something. The child. I love this one too. You've got the different worlds, the different moons. These cards are phenomenal. I see different stuff and get all kinds of messages with this. The tree of life. The spiral. The fire. The wild woman. That's me. The owl. That's my familiar. The lower world. The arrow. The journey. And I love this. How his spirit animal, his familiar is right there. He's got owl too. The completion, which is a lot of the familiar, the snake eating his own tail, Stand still. Sometimes the stand still is because we're stuck, or sometimes it's because we need to be still for a minute. Depends on where it falls on your read. Just like the other cards. The upper world. I work a lot with the upper world. The heart of the sky. That's a gorgeous card too. The earth keeper. These decks are phenomenal. These are some of my favorites. And I use these, like I say, for specific purposes. They're good for the healers. This one is. It's good for the healers and first work, you know, with the healer. Soul work. The Holy Mountain. I love those. Sometimes when I'm working with Grandfather, he takes me to the edge of a cliff and then he's telling me about things, and I'm looking over a big valley where there's buffalo roaming and there's teepees set up, and he's talking about the old ways. I love this one, the Ghost Dance. He lets me experience things that went on then. Some things I don't quite understand yet, but I've learned in these years. Some things we aren't meant to understand right away. Used to be obsessive about wanting to know, what did that mean? Why was they saying that? What were they showing me? The soul retrieval. That's what a lot of the shaman do. Soul retrieval. Soul work, I call it. Thunder. Now I learn to step back. We're going to know it when we need to know it. Pachamama. And sometimes our guides tell us things in our sleep. They teach us things in our sleep. And then we know them. Again, that's backs. I love these cards. I've edged them. That is the Shaman Oracle. Let me hold that up one more time. The Mystical Shaman Oracle deck and guidebook by Colette Baron-Reid and Villoldo and Lobos. It's a beautiful set. It comes in this big old box. And I have two more to show you. I'm trying to not hold you all here too much, but this is another beautiful deck that I use, and I use this for ancestry work, for readings. It's called Spirit of the Animals Oracle. And this is the guidebook, and it has pictures of the cards, gives you the full picture, and then it gives you the meanings, and then it gives you the contrary. So it gives you a lot of information in this book to use. And I do have to use the, because I only do, this is for spirit, to find your spirit animals. This is the box that comes in. It's by Jody. I'm sorry. By Jody Bergsma. Yes, Bergsma. Let me just put it up here where you can see it. It's a beautiful deck. And I do use it a lot when I'm doing. Comes with this nice, in the set, comes with this nice, this came with this deck. When I opened the box, it had this little, it comes with this reading tableau. Comes with this reading tableau to show you where to lay the cards. And it tells you on here how to lay cards. And then it tells you, you know, what each of these cards are for. Like 3 west is for adulthood. 9 left is for a life totem. These are your totem animals that follow you in and out or throughout your life. So you lay the cards to that specific pattern, and then you can let people know what their totem animals are and who they call on for help. This is a huge deck. Let me just put it right here where you can see. It's a huge deck, and it's beautiful. It's totally beautiful. And I have not edged this deck because it is a little bit of a thinner cardstock, and this kind of tends to bleed. The Line Strider, if you're familiar with the Line Strider deck, it has cardstock like this. I edged mine in blue, and it still bleeds on my hands when I use it. It aggravated me that I feel like I ruined my deck. I even took alcohol pads and tried to take the excess blue off, but it still bleeds on my hands every time I use it. Well, Deborah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I know I had so many questions. Me and Hershey did reads, and then I had so many questions about the what decks I was using. Some of these, I just keep them out, and like I name my decks. I name my decks so that, I don't think about what the real name of the deck is because I name my decks, So I learn them by their names. I don't know the name that was given to the deck half the time. And like I said, I store them in this little card caddy beside the thing, and I have some setting on the shelves back here. But the empty boxes I store right there. But this is a gorgeous deck. It's totally gorgeous. It's a beautiful color. And I'm just going to, these are huge. But see, the deck has what this animal is, the moose, and then it gives you a little reading here. So you could use these even without the book. But the book is so informative. I would definitely use the book with these. I would never be without the book because I feel like the book gives you a whole lot of information about this particular animal and what it brings to you, the strengths it brings to you. How many decks do I have? My total decks, I just redone this and I counted my decks. I was at 140, but I've given about 10 away recently, so I'm about down to 130 now. But I don't, like I said, I don't use these all the time, but they're important to me for certain readings. The Shaman cards I don't use all the time, but they're important to me for certain readings and for myself. So I know it seems like I have a lot of decks. A lot of these were gifted to me. A lot of the decks you see back here were gifted to me, and I don't use them all the time. The ones I use a whole lot are the ones I keep in this caddy right beside me. But like my family knows I like tarot cards, so they are always giving me tarot cards as gifts, like for my birthday. And I have a big family, so these are beautiful cards. The artwork is astounding on them. Breathtaking. And the meanings to some of these cards. I'll have to do an example. It's the raven. Ravens for the shaman. The dog. This is one of my familiars. And I know it's always been my familiar since I was a little kid. Hello, Lisa. How are you? I know when I was a young child, my mother would be pushing me in the stroller, and my brother and sister, we would be like going to my aunt's house or whatever, and the dogs in the neighborhood would follow me. And I've always been an advocate for dogs and cats. I did have cats. For my 2 cats that I found out, one was found, my cousin found it thrown out alongside the highway, and she stopped and picked it up. She was afraid it was going to get hit. And it actually had rhinovirus, and the doctor that we worked with all the time, he ran a thing called Animal Friends. He said that the cats normally die before they even show symptoms of that. But I had to feed that cat with the dropper. It was so little. It was still a little baby. Hanging out in here, Lisa? You come on in and hang out. We're just looking at some cards. I was just saying, like, I have 130 decks, but I don't use them all the time. There's like these decks. This deck right here, I just use for finding the, people's familiars. But this is a very beautiful deck. It's huge. I have to side shuffle it, but I do okay with it. It's fairly good card stock. It's a thinner, but it shuffles well. But people were asking about it. I thought, I'm just going to get on and do that. I just like to chat. Butterflies. What deck is that? This is the deck of, it's the Spirit of the Animals Oracle, Lisa. It's Spirit of the Animals Oracle. And it comes with this, like reading tableau, how you set, tells you how to set it up. Comes with this little reading tableau. And it tells you where to put what card. One card here, your first card here, your second card. I think is it at the top there? I can't remember. At the bottom. At the bottom. Tells you where to put the cards that come out. And then that tells you, like, this number 4. This familiar will be later in your life. And then it tells you on this side about what age areas that means that you come into these. And it has a very good guidebook. It's a very good guidebook that has, it shows you the whole card, and it goes into great detail about what these cards, what this animal means to you. And then it gives you a contrary to go over. It's a very informative book for these cards. And like I said, I don't use these cards all the time. I use them when somebody wants, they want to know what their spirit animal is or their familiars. And then I do this. And they can make them a little record. And I said, now we always, we do have spirit animals we can call upon that, are not with us. But some of these on this come and go, throughout our life, and some are our familiars forever. Like my owl's been with me forever. Yes, the pictures are beautiful of the of the animal, and it, you don't have to use the book. It does say, heron, and then it tells you what it means. Patience, that's what the heron teaches us. And then it gives you a little saying here, but the book is so much more informative. Like the lion's the higher calling for higher calling. And what the lion brings to us is discussed in the book, like what it teaches us. The dragon. Elephant. There's my owl. Hawk. These are beautiful cards. The back's on, Lisa. That's the back. The swans. Cat. Turtles. Lizards. The lynx. Giraffe. The dragonfly. The horse. The peacock. And you wouldn't think, like, I drew this for somebody and they were like, a peacock? What? There's in the description, you're like the guy I drew that on was blown away when he read, when I read what the animal brought to him and helped him with, even like the bee. So people are like, the bee? What's, hummingbird. And this a pretty good sized deck. I mean, it's not no skimpy deck. It's a nice deck. And like I said, I mainly use this to find out what people's spirit animals are. Their familiars or spirit animals. It depends on where you come from as to what it's termed. And then another deck that I use quite frequently is this Angels and Ancestors. The Angels and Ancestors deck. And I love this deck. I've had this deck probably since it came out. I mean, since it came out, I've had this. Got a nice little saying in here. It's got a nice little guidebook. Shows pictures of the cards. And then it tells you, your message. And then it tells you about the card. And it tells you an extended message even. So this is a nice little book for these cards. And this is the back of the cards. They're very beautiful. And I've etched mine, of course. I etched them in a weedy color to match the backs. And these are really nice, matte, good cardstock. This deck covers a whole lot of different areas. I use this a lot with just personal reads to see, see about people. This is a nice deck, and it's not that expensive. Hershey's son was in love with this deck, and I got it for him for his birthday. Got it off of Amazon. I don't know if his is different than mine because I ordered mine from, I believe this was a Hayhouse. Let me see. Ay, ay, ay. Ay. It might not have been a Hayhouse. Yes, it was a Hayhouse. Definitely a Hayhouse. I know we're all drawn to different decks. I was like, what kind of decks does everybody else like? I mean, I know my sister has totally different taste in decks than I do, and Hershey has totally different taste in decks. Brandy, we share some similar decks, but she's got her own little eclectic tastes going for her decks. These arrows, what's nice on this, the arrows talk about the directions of your life. And the drum talks about your journey. I vibe with these cards really well. When I first looked at the deck, I'm like, what does Druid have to do with like the arrows and stuff? But it works really well. This deck works really well for readings. This is my favorite card in the deck, the White Witch. Yeah, I like bright colors. I used to think, Lisa, that I love this one too, the Wise one. I used to think it was the bright colors that made my psyche pop. That's what I always call it. But I get really good messages from my guides. And I used to think it was all the colors. It's not just that, because I have my drawn deck that I use more than anything is Hush. And it's not really a vivid deck. It's kind of muted. But I get such good messages with the Hush arrow that proved my theory that the bright colors was what I think. It's just whatever my guides like. Whatever my guides like, that they're like, yeah, use that deck. We like that deck. And they give me really good messages when they like the deck. Plus, I feel like it just helps me zone in on the person. I know a lot of times people come on and they're like, a general read, a general read. A general read can be about anything. So sometimes in a general read, you're like, well, what do they really need to know? Give me something to tell me what they really need to know. I love this card. This is one of my favorites. This is a beautiful deck. But it was so funny. I was using this on Hershey's son, and he's like, ain't Deb, I gotta have that deck. I said, well, it ain't very expensive. Just go ahead and order it. It's on Amazon now. And I think me and Hershey went together and ended up getting it for him for his birthday. It wasn't that bad on Amazon. I love this. She's actually like scrying in a mirror. These are so much prettier in real life. And they have that nice, soft, matte kind of finish on them. So that's this deck. The only thing about this deck guidebook that I don't like is because it's broken down into sections. Let me just show you. Let me get to this book was written by Kyle Gray. So it's broken down into sections. The cards are kind of broken into sections. It tells you how to use your angel ancestor deck. It even gives you some layouts in the back. But it's done by guardians and messengers, and then warrior symbols, and the sacred ones, and the seasons. So you can get like a reading of what season, you might pull the season cards, so you're getting a approximation of when things will be happening for the reader, for the reading. When you're reading a quant, it lets you get that close to, telling them when it is. I know, I like Doreen Shoe decks too. I do have some of hers. I think I have one of hers left. A lot of times I give my decks to the kids. They'll fall in love with them and I'll give them, but they're always buying me decks back, so it kind of works out. So that was everything I wanted to show you tonight. And I wanted to know, like, what decks are you guys using? Tell me what oracles you all are using and what you use them for. Let me see if I missed anybody coming in. I think I only have 2 of you in here, but that's okay. I know a lot of the regulars were saying they weren't going to be able to make it Wednesday. And I was like, that's fine. I'm just going to do my little video, watch it on the replay. You don't have to come in here live if you don't have time. Hey, I understand that because I've been hectic in my life lately. It's finally settled down. My husband's gut's gone in his heart. Thank God. They're going to start weaning him off his blood thinners. So, yay. Yay for me and him. It's taken a big burden off. Because I wasn't letting him do anything about the grass or anything like that. So, I was having to do a lot more chores and stuff than I normally do. And so I'm just going to keep going with this on Monday and Wednesday. I was going to try and come on here last night, but that didn't work out for me. My son lost his phone and he had to get taken back down to work, and it was craziness. And I didn't get to come on last night. So it seems like every time I want to do that and say, so I might just impromptu pop up every now and again. I'll try and give a heads up notice if I do it. I have a whole lot of decks. I can't wait to share some of these with you guys. I'm just trying to stick with oracles right now because I was using oracles that night and I had a lot of questions about them. So I was trying to kind of go over the oracles, and I don't know if you ever see me use this one, Lisa. It's the wisdom of the oracle, but I cut mine down and then I edged it off. Like it was a big old deck and I cut it down. I freed the art. But now I never used these because I don't like that coating on them. But I had a little knockoff deck that one of the kids gave me as a gift, and you're now living with my daughter and only a few left. I have one that I ordered through Amazon but haven't used yet. The Sacred Geometry Activators. Oh wow, I think I have that deck. Wait a minute, do I have that deck? That sounds familiar. The kids get me a lot of cards. Some cards I gel with, some cards I don't. if I don't gel with them, I try to get them to a home where I know somebody needs them. I try to get them to a home where I know somebody needs them. Let me see here. Do I have the activator? I might have gave that to Hershey's son. I might have given that one to Hershey's son. Some of those, oh, it's this Astro. Star Codes Astro is what I've got. Sometimes I'm given decks and I just don't gel with them. So I have to rehome them, give them to somebody that likes them. And then there's some decks that I don't use that often. I use them now and again for readings. But when I tried to go through my decks, it was like the guides were like, don't you get rid of that. You need that. So I have to keep it because I do use it. I don't use it on a daily basis, but I do use it. It's kind of like your, does anybody have those, like decks for the holidays? I mean, I have those. Oh, let me see if I can find it. Is that it? Yes. I even got a little Christmas bag to put it in. It's just a little makeup bag, but it's just a little deck. So I have this little Xmas elves. And it's for Christmas time, but I don't care. It's just a little, you can use it like one time a year. These are so freaking adorable. It's a little knockoff deck. It's a cheapy deck, but if you're just going to use it once or twice a year, what's the difference? Take it to the Christmas parties and one thing I like about these little knockoff decks, I can see if I can see if I can read with them and if they gel with me, because nothing makes me more aggravated than to spend money on one of these kind of decks, and then you get home and you're like, I can't meld with this deck. I just can't work it out. And then you have to pick it up and give it to somebody. So I have like 2 little Christmas decks. I have a little Oracle, and then I have the little Tarot. And these were off Temu. But I love that little elf so much. I am going to buy the big one if I can find it. This is a little Lenormand or Oracle. You can use it as either or. I love Lenormand sometimes, but this is a cute little deck. And this actually is pretty good quality. It's a nice cardstock. But I just got them for the holidays. I'm like, twice a year I'll be using them. Or I might use them on here now that I've got the channel. I might do some holiday giveaways and readings on the holidays. So I ordered like 2 little Christmas decks in this bag, and I ordered a little Halloween deck, the little ghost deck, but I've been using it now even. I'm really in love with this one. I'm so in love with this little ghost deck from Temu. I can't find this anywhere else. Temu's the only place I've seen this. If anybody knows if this comes in, is this a for real deck or is this something that just Temu has? I'm not sure. I've never seen it anywhere else, but I love this little deck. I would love to have the whole set of this with the book. It's an easy reader, but it's so cute. It just makes me laugh. Makes me laugh myself silly. This was, Deborah, I found this on Temu. I found it on Temu. I know the littler decks are easy for me because I have arthritis. And Lisa too. Lisa likes the little decks. That's why I have to cut my decks down. And it makes me mad. I'm like, you pay full price for them and then get them home and cut half of them away because you can't hold on to the bigger ones. Some of them, like this one, it has a funny coating on it, so it's hard to shuffle sideways. And I cut it down thinking I can work with it better since it's cut down, and now I've got it broke in pretty good. But I couldn't stand that deck when I first brought it home. I'm like, I'll never use that. I don't like the feel of that. The cards are too stiff. But these little ones are just thin. I mean, they're not going to last forever. They're a little cheapy deck. But if I could find these in the bigger ones, I'd even get these in the bigger ones. Because I can usually side shuffle the cards, and I'm cool with that. But this little deck here, I am just loving it. I bought it for Halloween, but I've been reading with it already. I'm like, I don't care. It's just so cute, and it makes me happy. I mean, look at that. How can you not love that? I just laugh myself silly on these. It's kind of like the Shadowland Tarot. Brandy and Hershey went together and bought me Shadowland Tarot for my birthday. I think it was last year. This deck makes me laugh so hard. It's hilarious. The little Shadowland. It's supposed to be for Halloween, but I use it all the time because it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. It's funny. The little pictures on there, fish flying through the air. And I mean, it's hilarious. And it brings my mood up. I just laugh myself silly with this. And my guides just think this is hilarious, this deck. But it gives good messages. The deck does. I mean, it's based on the Rider-Waite, But just the artwork is hilarious. It's totally hilarious. And it's funny as hell. So what other decks? I seen that all off. Yes, I seen that off of the Woolly Hermit. Oh, the Shadowland. Yes. I love this deck. I'm not kidding. It cracks me up. It keeps me laughing. I say life's too short. I'm going to use what I want to use. And if it's making me laugh, I want to use it because life's too short. So why not? And this little stand here that I'm using, it's just a little plastic. It's a makeup stand, but I'm using it for my decks. Let me see if I can twist you. See? It has 7 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 7 layers. I've got like 27 decks on this little stand here beside me. Of course, they're not all big decks. There's little ones in here too. But I have to say, I'm loving this little stand. I'm totally loving the little stand. Yeah, the little ghost deck is I can't be without that now. It's so cute. I mean, I've gotten as gifts. This was a gift from the kids. When I say kids, I'm like my nieces and nephews, great nieces and nephews, great nieces and nephews. They gave me this little deck, and I've had this thing for I don't know how long. You can tell how old it is. You can tell how old it is. I did edge it off, but it's getting more. But it's got beautiful artwork on it too. But it's good size for my hands, and it's broken. It's nice and soft now, and I'm not giving it up because I read well with it. We have a good rapport, and it's my deck. And this one came in a little tarot kit called I ordered this off of Amazon. It's a Llewellyn, I think. Yeah, it's the Llewellyn. It's the Easy Tarot, Learn to Read. And it comes with the deck. And then it has a very nice book. What did I do with my book? I'm sorry, I don't know where I've laid my book. I have the book out of here. But it has a book that's this size. And the book is so informative. And Chiro Marchetti, the This has got the, oh, I'm sorry, let me turn you back around. The Ciro Marchetti art was on this. And I love his work. I meld with these cards really well. What does that stand for originally? It's a makeup stand, and I ordered this off of Temu. I got this little stand for, I think, $10. And I priced them on Amazon. They're like 40 bucks. Now, this did come in a bag, and it was, two of the little trays had cracks where they got thrown around. But I put a little epoxy on them. I didn't even send them back because I thought, it's not like I can't use them. It's not like they were broken. The stamp went together. It just cracks on. I just put the silicone stuff on them to seal the crack up. And it's fine. This is like one of my favorite decks. Me and this deck, we're bonded. We're these. This deck here has the best lovers card here. This deck here has, like, when I see this card, I think soulmate. I think twin flame. Yeah, I would love to get me a couple more of these stands to put on these shelves back here to put the rest of the cards on that I've got. It just makes it more convenient to get the cards in and out. This is another little oracle I got gifted. This came off of Temu. I know this came off Temu. But it's got the little, like for the holiday, the little 4-leaf clovers. This is called, what is this called? This is called, oh my God, hang on one second. Here it is. It's called the little yogi, Happy Notes. And this one makes me happy, so I'm using it. Hilarious. You know, just draw your little card of the day, or when you're drawing oracles for your reads, when you're doing readings. These are just cute little happy notes, and I just love them. And I'm going to keep using them. It says the source of happiness lies within us. The guy's drawing little hearts. These are just cute little. I know. Laugh out loud, girl. It's life's too short. We gotta laugh once in a while. Can't be so serious about everything all the time. There's too much seriousness in life. We have a little light moment now and again. That's why I do this. I want to share and talk to people about what kind of cards they use and what kind of cards they like and what they like. I have a lot of oracles, but some I use for specific reasons, for specific purposes. You know, if somebody's coming to me for a spiritual read and want to know, you know, what they need to work on for their spiritual growth, I'll read with different decks than I would normally. If somebody just wants a tarot read, you know, I can give them a tarot read. But if they're asking for specific work, my one sister does Reiki healings, and I use this a lot with her. This deck right here, this Shaman. It works really well to help her with stuff. So yeah, the Easy Tarot, Deborah. If it's called the Easy Tarot Learn and read the cards once and for all. And it has a book that's this size. I'm so sorry. My book, I've got it out of here. I probably got it in the living room. I still use this book. The book is so informative. And it's, it's easy reader. It helps you learn the decks easy. I actually have 2 sets of these, but I have one under my camera holding the camera up. So I'm sorry I can't get that either. Maybe I could. Hang on one second. So I can show you. Sorry, my camera dropped down. But guys, I have 2 sets of these because I had to have an extra set. Because I'm like, if anything ever happens to that one, I'm going to be very sad. So I bought another one. This is the nice little book. This is the book that comes with this. And it comes with that deck. And it's got the picture. Got the picture of the card. And then it tells you what it means. Oh, sorry. I had stuff in there. And it gives you deck layouts. Like it gives you deck layout. I love this because it doesn't just tell about, like it tells you, all the aces in the deck. It gives you little, it's a very informative book for learning tarot. Like all of the aces, it'll tell you, let me get to it. Sorry, I wasn't going to do this one, but we got on this subject, so now I have to, right? Ace of Wands. All the aces represent new beginnings, but wands are also initiators. So this can represent a dynamic and driving inner force. And then it's just it tells you about what's on the card and the symbols for it. But it also gives you like those little things about aces are all initiators, and sometimes it goes into color in here and stuff. So this, I have given away, I know, at least 5 of these sets as gifts because they're such a nice set. The book is beautiful. It's well written. This is by the book by Josephine Ellershaw. And the Gilded Tarot deck is by Ciro Marchetti. And like I said, this is a Llewellyn. Please don't order this. I saw this on Amazon, but I ordered some on Amazon, and the cards that came with the Amazon are horrible. They're chintzy cards. If you want to invest in this, try and get it from the Llewellyn because they had the really good card stock. I mean, I've had this thing probably, my set, I've had probably about 3 years. And I use this daily. And it has held up well. It's, it's pretty good card stock. And it wasn't that expensive. I think I got it when Llewellyn had their sale. I think I paid $8 something for this whole set. But that's been 3 years ago when I bought mine. Now, the ones I got off of Amazon were a little more. I bought 2 sets off of Amazon, and then I realized the cards were shit on them. So then I turned around and ordered 2 more sets from Llewellyn. So if you can get these, they're well worth. They're not that expensive. And if you wait for the sales that Llewellyn has, Llewellyn and them always run those sales a couple times a year. I've gotten decks, nice decks, off of Hayhouse and Llewellyn for like $8. If you wait for that 35%, sometimes they run a 50% off. Yeah, I know. Like, I read tarot a lot intuitively. So I miss them, I have to brush up on those meanings. I learned them and I got the gist of it, but like when I started getting back into it, you know, I had a break from it for a while when my kids was littler, and then when I started getting back into it, I needed the brush up big time. I know I have this deck. Where did it go? Where did that deck go? Let me grab this deck real quick. This deck right here I got for $8 off the Hayhouse. This Transient Light Tarot. And I know some people don't like this deck. I didn't know if I would like it or not because it's kind of a funky color. It's not very. This is the little book it comes with. It's got a great book. The book is fabulous. What I love about this little deck here, it has a past, a present, and a future card. And there's spread in there. This is the back of it. It's like, I don't know if I like that. It's kind of muted. It's a muted deck. It's totally a muted deck. Like, you know. But I get good readings on this deck. And I love it. And for $8, I mean, it's pippish. But for $8, I was like, this is beautiful cardstock. Nice matte. The cards are thinner. Like, they're bigger, but they're kind of thinner. So I can shuffle this if I'm having a good day. If I'm having a good day, I can shuffle that. Yeah. Hayhouse. I got this on there like 50% off sale, and I got this deck for $8. If you wait, they do it like 2 or 3 times a year. They do this good sale, 35 to 50% off. And I got a bunch of these for like Christmas gifts. I got like ordered like 4 or 5 of these at Christmas time for $8 a piece. So I say the prices are good there. If you watch on those, you can get some really, really nice. I know this Transient Light, I can tell you, I didn't think I was going to like it, but I pulled it out and started playing with it and started reading the book, and I read the book and tried some of the layouts they had in there, and I started getting really good reads with it. So this is like become one of my favorites. It's become one of my favorite tarot. I don't have a whole lot of tarot decks, for real. I mostly have Oracle decks. And there's several tarots that I use all the time. The Hush Tarot, that's like my drawing deck. And I have the Light Seers, which is a gorgeous deck. I've etched mine in green to match the backs. But this Light Seers, I love this deck. I love the matte cardstock, and I love the beautiful artwork and all that good stuff. I get really good messages with this deck. But this is a beautiful deck. And I got this one, believe it or not. This is by Chris Ann. And I think, yeah, this is a Hayhouse also. And I think I got this deck for like $15 off the Hayhouse on their sale. I know I didn't pay that much for it. It was a good price. Sorry about that, guys. But that's I use a lot of oracles, and I feel like oracles really helps us sometimes get to the nitty-gritty. This is another one of my favorite little oracle decks. This is one of my favorite little oracle decks. It's cute as hell. Let me get it turned around here, right? Help if I put it right side up so you guys could see it. Sorry about that. These are just skinny oracle decks. And I got this off of Amazon. This is a real earthy oracle, just to pull a few little cards. This cute little cards. Let me just hold them up here so I can go through them quickly. Just good little messages. My light is so weird. I don't know why. I love this little deck. It does give really good positive messages. This deck's not very expensive on Amazon. It's one of the more reasonable price. I think I paid $7 for it or something on the Amazon. And it's a pretty good sized little deck. It's a pretty good sized little deck. Easy to shuffle for me because it's a little teeny. But I have this Ella Enchanted, my niece. She got me this for Christmas one year because of the owls. She knows the owl's my familiar, and I'm really drawn to earthy kind of decks. This deck here is phenomenal. And I wanted an oracle card. This is a tarot, and I wanted an oracle card to go with this. So I got these from Hershey to go with my little, this deck here. I just love. I totally love this deck. It's a beautiful deck. And this one, I don't know what they make for it, but any of these that I've showed you, I'll try to put in to the, I'll leave those out so I can remember to do that. Last week I put Monday I put down in the description thing. If you hit that more under my name, it gives you that description, and I put the decks and their links in there because I don't think any of them were very expensive that I showed you last week, or not last week, Monday. All right, I've been on here an hour and a half now almost. So, what am I'm missing? See, when I'm showing stuff, I have a hard time keeping up with chat. That's what's bad when you're showing things. I'm not too brained. I'm so bad with it. Yeah, I keep up with, if you go to hayhouse.com, you can sign up for their newsletters. Like when they're getting ready to run a sale or whatever, they'll text you a little message, or they'll send you email. You can sign up for the email, and they'll send you the email, hey, we're going to 30% off or whatever. And I keep up with Llewellyn, Hayhouse, and what's the other one? US Game Systems. And what was the other one? Blue. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. But any of the card providers, that print most of these cards. It's Hayhouse, Llewellyn, US Game System, and Blue. Is it Blue Ocean? Blue something or another. And they send out the little reminders that they're having the sales. And they always have good sales twice a year, whether it's 30 to 50% off. And that's going to be all for tonight, guys. I didn't mean to keep you guys on here so late. I've been trying to watch myself and make sure I just keep it to an hour. I know you guys have other things going on in that. I appreciate you coming in. Anybody that's not member, please like and subscribe and ring that bell. All those YouTubey things. And I hope you come back. I'm going to try and get on here some this week, but every time I set a certain time, it never works out for me. So I'm just going to play it by ear. And hopefully, oh yes, with that, the Gilded Tarot also gives you a little, the Gilded Tarot, the Easy Tarot that I was showing you. It also comes with this spreadsheet. I meant to show you that. I'm sorry. It comes with this little spreadsheet to show you how to do the reads when you're first starting out. Like I said, if you get this from Llewellyn, now I didn't see one of these in the one that I ordered from Amazon, but the Llewellyn ones came with this nice little spreadsheet, the book, and the deck. And I think I paid $8 something a piece for those when I ordered them. I don't know what they are now. I haven't been on there in a while to order those, so I'll put it in the description box, though. I'll look it up, take the time to look it up, and give you guys a link if you need it. All right, guys, I'm going to get off of here. You guys have a good night, and thanks for coming in, and I hope that I helped you see something you liked. And if you have any questions about anything I showed you, if I can help you find them or answer them, I'm glad to. And yeah, please do come back live. Yeah, I will. Well, Deborah, you come back. I'm gonna, if I can sneak in some extra lives this week, I'll send it out. Try and send it out a couple of hours in advance to let people know. But I try to do at least Monday and Wednesday. But now that my husband's settled down a little bit, and my mother's out of the hospital and settled down a little bit, my sister's out of the hospital and settled down a little bit, now I have a little more extra time. So I'll try to, if I come on live, some extras, I'll try and do it 2 or 3 hours in advance so you guys have a warning. And I appreciate you all coming in. And like I said, anybody wants to like and subscribe, please do so. Please come back. Give us some input, if I'm doing okay, if you need to see something different. But I had gotten so many questions from me and Hershey did readings. I got so many questions from those readings about what decks we were using and that, and I wasn't prepared for it. So I thought I would take the time. This is my channel. I don't have to do anything in particular. I can do what I want. I like to talk to people. If they're interested in the decks, I don't mind showing the decks and talking about them. And I like to see what kind of decks you guys use too. So, all right, Deborah. Well, thank you, and come back. It's usually a little busier. I know there was 3 special things going on that a lot of us spiritual YouTubers hang out with. They had some special things going on tonight. So I know most of the people are there because there were special guests on their channel. So, and that's fine. It's like I said, I don't do this for the money. I do it for fun, and I do it because I can. I'm retired, and I like to share with the people that I talk to. And if they want to see the decks, I'm going to show the decks. So that's it. All right, guys, you have a good night, and bless you for coming in. Love and light to everybody. I hope you have a good evening. Come back.